Have you ever felt trapped by your own body, like life is moving forward around you, but you are stuck, struggling with pain, fatigue, and uncertainty? Today, I want to share the story of Esther Cole, a woman who faced a chronic autoimmune illness in her late 20s and discovered emotional peace, spiritual strength, and renewed purpose despite her challenges. Esther's journey is not just about surviving illness, it is about learning how to live fully, even when your body does not cooperate, and how faith and community can transform despair into hope. If you have ever struggled with health challenges, or if you know someone who has, her story will resonate deeply with you. Esther Cole was full of energy, ambition, and dreams in her late 20s. She had a career she loved, a social life that energized her, and a vision of the future she could not wait to build. Then everything changed. In her late 20s, Esther was diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune condition. Overnight, her life shifted. Fatigue became constant, pain became an unwelcome companion, and frequent hospital visits disrupted everything she had planned. Esther recalls, "I felt betrayed by my own body. Every day was a battle, and I questioned why God would allow me to suffer like this. I was angry, anxious, and exhausted." Think about that for a moment. The body you depend on every day suddenly feels like a stranger. Tasks that once were effortless became monumental. Plans that once felt so certain suddenly seemed impossible. For Esther, this was her reality. And this is a reality many people with chronic illness face. When your body limits what you can do, it is not just physical, it is emotional. You grieve not just your health, but the life you thought you would have, and that grief is real, valid, and important to acknowledge. The emotional toll of chronic illness can be just as heavy as the physical. For months, Esther struggled with depression, anxiety, and fear. She worried she was a burden to her family and friends. She often asked herself, "Am I still useful? Do I still have purpose?" It is natural to feel isolated in these moments. Pain and fatigue make it hard to reach out. Social invitations might feel impossible, and even those who want to help may not fully understand what you are experiencing. Esther's journey reminds us that isolation is not a weakness. It is a common part of chronic illness. Recognizing it is the first step toward finding connection and support. If you are listening and feeling alone with a health challenge, remember this: you are not a burden. Your feelings are valid, and you are not meant to navigate this alone. Everything began to shift when a nurse at her treatment center suggested Esther join a faith-based support group for women with chronic illness. At first, Esther was hesitant. How could a group help with something so deeply personal? But slowly, she began to open up. She shared her fears, her frustrations, and her doubts about God. She began praying daily and journaling letters to God, raw, honest expressions of pain, confusion, and hope. She also studied scripture passages that reminded her of God's presence in suffering. Through the support group, she met women who understood exactly what she was going through. They shared stories, encouragement, and practical tips for coping with daily challenges. Little by little, Esther began to see that even within illness there could be hope and purpose. This is a powerful reminder: community matters. You do not have to face hardship alone. Whether it is a support group, a faith community, or a close circle of friends, connection helps us carry burdens we cannot bear alone. Faith, too, provides a steady anchor when life feels unsteady. As Esther leaned into her support system and her faith, she began to notice subtle shifts. Instead of focusing on what she had lost, the career, the physical freedom, the plans for the future, she started celebrating what she could still do. She found joy in small victories, completing a project at home, spending quality time with family, contributing to her church, or helping a friend. Each step reminded her that life still had value, even if it did not look the way she had imagined. Emotional peace does not mean ignoring your pain or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging your reality while choosing to embrace what is still good. Small victories matter, and celebrating them can slowly rebuild your confidence, your sense of purpose, and your joy. Esther reflects, Chronic illness did not disappear, but God taught me to find peace in the midst of it. Emotional strength came when I surrendered my frustration and allowed Him to guide my days, celebrating the small joys rather than mourning what I had lost. Her story teaches us that spiritual growth and resilience are possible even when physical limitations persist. Prayer, meditation on Scripture, and reflective journaling became tools for navigating the unpredictable days of illness. Spiritual strength is not about ignoring suffering. It is about embracing faith as a source of guidance, comfort, and resilience. Even small daily practices can help you feel grounded and hopeful, no matter the challenges you face. Today, Esther volunteers with patients facing chronic illnesses. She writes about emotional and spiritual resilience and encourages others to trust God through their health challenges. What once felt like a life limited by illness has become a life filled with purpose, compassion, and inspiration for others. Her journey is a reminder that our struggles can become a platform for helping others. Even small acts of kindness or encouragement can make a difference, and sharing your story can give someone else the hope they need to keep going. Let's pause and consider some practical lessons we can all take from Esther's story. Acknowledge your emotions. Allow yourself to feel frustration, sadness, and fear. Journaling can help. Seek support. Support groups or faith-based communities provide encouragement and understanding. Focus on small victories. Celebrate what you can do, not just what you cannot. Lean into your faith or spiritual practice. Prayer, scripture, and reflection provide resilience. Serve and give back. Helping others restores purpose and reminds you that your life still matters. Even if the illness or challenge continues, these steps can help you regain emotional peace and spiritual strength. They are not quick fixes. They are daily practices that build resilience over time. Esther's journey reminds us that life may not look the way we imagined, but hope, peace, and purpose are always possible. Chronic illness does not have to define who you are or steal your joy. By leaning on faith, community, and small daily steps, emotional resilience and spiritual growth are within reach. If Esther's story spoke to you, consider sharing it with someone who might need encouragement today. And if you want more stories of hope, healing, and resilience, subscribe and join our community. Remember, even in the midst of life's challenges, your story is still unfolding. There is still joy to be found, purpose to embrace, and hope to hold on to.